All right, all right, all right. What up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. It's your girl, Jeannie, and you know what it is. So let's just get into the energy because you know the energy is giving like every single day. So I appreciate the Virgos who give back to my channel anyway. I love you back. Let's get into the reading, Virgo, because the energy is profound. The energy is profound. And we have Too Little Too Late. And the song of the day is 1515 Oak Grove. Okay. And in this song, he talks about his past and where he was brought up and the things that happened to him that led him to the place that he is. Okay, and the two lyrics that stood out to me is, see, I'm driving and they can't break me or slow me down. And this is the basis of the reading because God has been waiting for you to get in the driver's seat. Okay, the universe has been waiting to give you your blessings for when you are prepared for those blessings. Some of you are still living in the past, living in situations that's too little too late to be fixed. Okay, living in situations that's little too late to be changed, right? But you are still waiting for your enemies to get karma over situations that are dead and gone. You're still waiting to see those people who came against you in the past to fall down before you get your blessings. And I'm here to tell you today that the universe has been waiting for you to be ready for your blessings before they can take your enemies down. Okay, because the taking down of your enemies comes with you being able to withstand the enemy. The destruction of your enemy comes from you being able to withstand the enemy, because when they cannot stop you, break you, or slow down your path, they can no longer be an enemy to you. If we look at the definition of an enemy and antagonist, it is someone who has will or sway over your direction, your story, your life. So to say somebody is your enemy gives them the power to change your life in some type of way. But to overcome your enemies is to take back your power, and no matter what manipulation the enemy comes with, not allowing it to slow you down or change your direction. Stay with me. It's a too little too late, heart, and then karma. Some of you are still waiting for situations that have already been fixed, that have already taken place, to reap karma so that you can feel blessed, so that you can feel good again. Some of you are waiting on situations that have already been taken care of for you to get back into your heart space, because then you know your enemy has gotten karma. And I'm here today to tell you your enemy has already gotten their karma. Your enemy has already learned the lesson about coming against you. That lesson has came and gone. And you're still waiting to see them fall and stumble. But the only way to actually see them vanquished from your life is to be in a place where they can't stop the drive. They can't manipulate your story, and they can't interfere with what you got going on. Some of you are still waiting on your enemies to be hit by karma to feel like you are blessed. And I'm here to tell you today that they have already been hit by karma. This is your confirmation that karma has already came around for the people who like to see you cry, right? For your antagonists, the people who have antagonized you, the people who are your so-called enemies, the people who have so much power in your life have already seen the destruction that was due to them for coming against you. But some of you have allowed these people to take your skills because you are still waiting for the antagonist to be vanquished. But I'm here to tell you that they're never going to be vanquished. The enemy is never going to be taken out from this world. The enemy is never going to be completely destroyed, because even when the antagonist gets taken out, there'll be a new antagonist. There'll be a new enemy. There'll be a new person trying to slow you down and take what you got. So the only way to overcome the enemy is to get into a place where you tap into particular skills in which you can blow the whistle on these phony ass antagonists. Because if they have no sway over your drive, your ambition, your life, your emotions, and your path, then they are not an enemy. If an antagonist can't do anything to antagonize you, they're not an antagonist. See, some of you are looking for what the enemy taken from you, and what they taken from you is your peace of mind. What they have taken from you is your confidence. What they have taken from you is your willpower to move on without seeing your enemies meet a certain level of destruction that allows you to feel good about your life. But I'm here today to tell you that your enemy can't really take anything from you. I'm here today to tell you that they can't touch anything that you don't allow them to touch. And that the real karma that you can serve your enemies is by listening to the message from your ancestors and realizing that you are giving yourself karma by waiting on people who are sabotaging you to get caught up. Your intuition is trying to tell you that the thing the enemy is trying to take from you cannot be taken when you give power and sublimation to your gifts. And you start to touch things and feel like yourself again. When you start to get back to the star player, when you start to get back to the place you were before you met this enemy, that's when you give your enemies karma. Because you can still smile, party, and progress through any demonic force, because you have already done it. Okay, and when you live in what you have already done and you walk like you have already done it, then you can focus on taking care of your family, even through whatever the enemy has planned for you. And this is the real vanquishing of the enemy. This is the real vanquishing of your antagonist. This is the real karma that you serve people by not allowing them to stop you. Okay, I'm here today talking to some people who feel powerless, who feel held back in a situation, who feel like God hasn't given you the blessings that you deserve by making your enemies feel destruction, feel pain. Some of you still feel held back because you haven't seen that person who came against you fall from grace. You haven't seen them lose their job. You haven't seen them lose their relationship. Matter of fact, when you go and look at the enemy, they over there thriving and prospering. Matter of fact, you go and you peep in on what your enemy is doing and they're having fun. And it makes you feel even more angry to see that your enemies are out there prospering and you are still held back. I'm here today to tell you, once you get power over those emotions, when you start getting power over yourself and your emotions and take back the power from your enemy to be able to stop you from grinding, being ambitious, and moving forward, that you will get your energy levels back and you'll start having fun and living your life again. So when your enemies come look in on you, they see that you were prospering. It's a switch up. Okay, universe is waiting for you to switch up to give your enemies the real karma that they deserve. And the karma that your enemies deserve is to see that nothing they have done will stop you from getting these rewards, from working hard. See, the enemy loves to look in on you and see you still in the same spot that you were when they were antagonizing you. Because that means they can come in and antagonize you again and break you. That means all they have to do is smile in a photo and know it's going to have you tore up because you were expecting them to get karma, but you're the one over here emotional about it. Okay? I'm here to tell you that once you start reflecting and thinking about things clearly, void from the emotions that your enemies planted inside of you, you realize how abundant and protected you are. Okay? Once you realize that the real karma is to not be able to affect you again, you realize that you are the one who is serving your enemy's karma. You will be the one who serve your enemy's karma. And you will also be the one who pulls in your blessings and your prosperity due to you through the karma in which you experience with these enemies. But God is not going to bless you. The universe is not going to bless you when you're wallowing over what hasn't been done to justify what has been done to you. I'm here today to help your blessings come quicker. All right? I'm here today to help you overcome the tower that you still are thinking about. And this is the basis of the song. He tells you about his childhood and the things that have happened to them. And he says, now I'm walking in greatness, thinking, man, this was supposed to been happen. Sorry, mom, I was distracted. That's the end of the song. And this is what the universe is trying to tell you. Your blessings were supposed to happen a lot sooner than what they are. Your prosperity was supposed to come a long time ago, but you were distracted by what your enemy is doing. You were distracted by what happened in the past. You're overcome by the emotions of not being able to stand up. You think by blocking these people and not dealing with them that you have conquered them. And the real way to conquer your enemy is to be able to stand in their face without them having a way to antagonize or affect your path. See, some of these people, enemies, are not going to be taken out of your life until you can stand 10 toes in front of them and show them that you have power. Let's get into it, because the tower is already hit. God has already put you back on stable grounds, and he have already give you opportunities that you can make into creative, fruitful endeavors. But some of you are still trapped up on getting something that you may have lost in the past, that the defeat is stopping you from standing in your power and focusing on the things that you can change and going full-fledged into it. Because when you start taking steps into the table, okay, God is creating a table in front of your enemies in which they watch you eat. But when you start taking steps towards the table, you then get defeated because you don't have the proper boundaries to withstand the antagonist in order just to walk to your table, just to get to your blessings. But I'm here today to give you the moral higher ground and the wisdom of God that is needed to think strategically and overcome the enemy through pain, through doubt, through fear, through anxiety, through sleepless nights. See, some of you feel like you have already missed out on an opportunity. You've already missed your blessing when God is just waiting for you to choose and set your intentions and go towards it and manifest it. He's just waiting for you to do it. But conflict gets you to walk away every time. Okay, because the enemy see you thriving, and then they come in and do those same tactics that broke you in the past, and there you go, broken. You start feeling good. You start feeling good about your circumstances in your life, and then you get on your enemy's social media page, and all of a sudden you're overcome by the emotions about seeing your enemies thrive. And I'm trying to help you rescue, and I'm trying to help rescue yourself from this pattern. We got to stop waiting for our enemies to get karma and start serving these hoes their karma. Okay, God cannot bring these blessings onto you. The universe can't give you what you want if you still allow these people, places, and things to stop you from moving in the direction of your dreams. Okay, let's get into it. First of all, The first message that I am getting is that your enemies have already received karma. Okay? One of the pieces of karma that they have received is to see that none of the weapons that they have can stop you. Okay? This was the first one. None of the weapons that they have can stop you. You are still shining. You are still smiling. You are still getting meals from the sun. You are still out there living your life and shining a light on your fruit. That means you are still prosperous. That's the first thing that they learn. So who's going to get hit first? Who gets hit first by karma? Okay? To hit your enemy first with karma, you have to show them that nothing that they can do can stop you. You have to be able to rebuild and be able to be new. Okay? So the first thing that the universe wants to show us is that these enemies have already gotten a level of karma. Yeah, fuck you mean in the reverse. Okay? So if you mean, fuck you mean in the reverse is my card of you being confused about the situation. With this in the reverse, it's someone saying something to you and you completely understand. Okay? So this is like me saying, your enemies have already gotten their karma. And then you'd be like, fuck you mean? They over there thriving, surviving, in happy marriages. You feel me? But this is you being able to look at your enemy's life and not be confused that they have gotten their karma for what they have done. And although whatever their life looks like, you still know due to their characteristics and their mindset that it can't be happy over there. It can't be prosperous over there, even if it looks like it is. Don't confuse yourself into believing that they are prospering over there. We have God-given gifts. One more. We have intuition is bugging me, and Heavenly Father, why are you so far away? So, ooh, I'm going to hurt some feelings today. The universe has already said that your table has been prepared. Your gifts have already been given to you. You have everything that you need to create blessings and prosperity in your life. And if you have not succeeded in bringing forth your blessings and your prosperity and your dreams, that means that there are things that you need to fix inside of yourself so that you don't feel so far away from God. Because when you know that, you know, God is taking care of you, when you have a good relationship with God, when you're reading your Bible and you're on path, you're not distracted by the enemy. And it's very easy for you to, when you have a good relationship, it's very easy for you to use your fruit and prosper. But this is the whole basis of the enemy coming against you so that you don't use your fruit. So that they break the foundation between you and God or you and the universe. The enemy only did these things to sever your connection with your gifts, your intuition, and the universe. So if you haven't got your God-given gifts and God-given blessings, it's because you have not tapped into your intuition. It's because you are still far away from source. And I'm here today to tell you that the universe is waiting for you to get closer to source, to be able to reap the benefits of the blessings and the gifts that have already been given to you. Okay? You may have already seen your enemies get blessings. Yeah. You may have already seen your enemies get blessings, get karma. You may have already seen your enemies transform their life and continue to move forward. So to be confused about anything that's coming or going in their life would be your problem. Okay? Because the enemy likes to confuse you to believe that nothing is going on over there, that it's all good and it's all sunshine and it's all cool. But they wouldn't be an antagonist if their life was all cool. They wouldn't be your enemy and trying to fuck with you if they didn't have nothing better to do. So you have to take the confusion out of seeing and viewing what's going on in other people's life and directly correlating it to what's going on in your life. And when you can do that by stop listening, to tarot card readers talking about what your enemies are getting and blah, 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 and what's going on over there, you can start to focus on the God-given gifts that are right in front of your face. Okay? Yep. Strength and personal boundaries. The first thing that you have to do to overcome your enemy is to stop focusing on them. Stop looking at their life. Stop checking their social media page. Stop checking up on them. Stop seeing what they're doing. When the enemy comes into your view sight, look the other way. Because there's nothing greater than an enemy who can show up and do nothing and affect your life. There's nothing better than an antagonist who can show up in a room where you're at and ruin your whole mood, ruin your whole energy. There's nothing greater and nothing more powerful than an enemy who can just show up and be silent and do nothing and bother you. So the first part of getting these blessings and living in the prosperity in the Garden of Eden that God is creating for you is to have personal boundaries surrounding your antagonists and your enemies. Now, when they come in front of your face, it's like John Cena. You can't see me. They can't see you. This type of energy. You're Helen Keller to an antagonist in the room because you're not focused on that. The only way the enemy can affect you is if you allow them to. The only way this antagonist can stop your movement is that if you focus on them. And that's the first step in this. We have God-given gifts and then fun times in the reverse. So the way the enemy takes your God-given gifts from you is to create a negative environment for you, to create a trauma inside of you in which you can't party anymore. You can't have fun anymore. This is that prime example. You out there partying. You out there partying. And then the enemy comes in and it's like, Arr! The partying stops. The music stops. We're all focused on the enemy. And this is how they have power over you, because they can come in the middle of your party and disrupt it. Okay? But when you have God-given gifts, when you hold scriptures inside of your heart, when you know who you are and you're close and have a good relationship with God and the universe, no matter what's going on, you're celebrating every day. No matter what the environment is, you can bring your God-given gifts in and elevate the room. And this is what they're trying to get you to give you more blessings and more prosperity. But they can't give you God-given gifts. They can't give you your blessings. They can't give you your prosperity if when the party starts and the enemy comes in, it's not a fun time anymore. This is the greatest lesson that they're trying to teach you in this season of holding back your prosperity and your gifts. It is not to punish you. It is not so it seems like the enemy is winning. No, it's to show you how to party amongst your enemies, knowing you're protected. It's to anticipate difficulties and still have a fun time. So why would God give you blessings if as soon as your enemy walk into the room, they can ruin all of it? What's intuition is bugging me? Stay with me, y'all. I know my channel may seem a little naggish. You feel me? I know my channel may seem like I'm preaching to you, like I'm condemning you. But the real basis of my channel and my readings is to help you overcome and evolve all things. We could talk about all the karma that your enemies is getting till I'm blue in the face, and I probably get thousands and millions of views. That is not going to help you overcome. It is only going to distract you from the things and the lessons that are being taught to you in this season. See, I can preach about the blessings and the goodness and the good things that are coming towards you, but if I don't help you find those things, I'm just speaking to a wall. So the basis of my readings is to help you step by step to get closer to your blessings. And if you're not with that, go find one of those karmic channels who's going to lay it on thick, kiss your ass, and tell you about how your enemies are failing, and then you're never going to see prosperity from it. Go ahead and go click on one of those channels. That's not what I'm trying to do today. I'm trying to show you step by step on how to get closer to your blessings in this season, how to overcome and learn the lessons the universe is teaching you so that you can go to the next level where there are new devils and withstand and hold on to your blessings and not lose them because the party is not fun, and not lose them because your enemy was invited, and not stop the party because you got to go to work with somebody who hates you. Which intuition is bugging me? We have rosary, and that came out in the reverse. It says spiritual path, sacrifice, morality, and ethics, and that came out in the reverse. Okay, so with this intuition is bugging me, God has been speaking to you. The universe has been speaking to you. They have been giving you intuitive urges about your path and what you're supposed to do. But the things that you are supposed to do does not align with your morality and ethics. And because you're unwilling to change your viewpoint, you're unwilling to walk the spiritual path that God has laid out before you. Let me say it again. Some of your enemies will never go away. Some of your antagonists will live with you till the day that you die. The evil that we experience in this world will never, ever stop. But there are certain characteristics and traits and skills that God is trying to teach you to help you overcome the enemy. And some of you are unwilling to give up things in order to keep moving forward. Some of you are unwilling to forgive your enemy. So every time they come in the room, you are all fucked up. Some of you are not willing to accept that your enemies have gotten karma. So when you see them, you mean mugging. Some of you aren't willing to do what God has told you to do, which is to forgive your enemies, which is to give your enemies food and water, which is to help your enemies, because the grudge inside of you wants them to suffer. So God is never going to give you those blessings. They're never going to allow you to live and eat the fruit of your blessings because you aren't willing to sacrifice the emotions and the things that they need you to be on path. You'd rather be angry at that person and never see them again, not knowing that confronting your enemy and walking by them is the only path to your destiny. What's Heavenly Father? Health consciousness, doctor visits, working out, and dieting. Yo, some of you feel far away from God because you don't want to do the things that will get you closer to God. You don't want to work out the emotions that you have against your antagonists. You don't want to overcome the emotional trigger that you have that your antagonist can come and press. You'd rather separate yourself from God than to overcome the emotions and the things that he needs you to get closer to him. This is the prime example that I'm getting is I would rather be alone forever than to learn another lesson again. How many Virgos have said that? I'm cool with being alone. I'm cool with being a nun, not having no sex, not having no relationship, not having no marriage. I'm cool with being broke the rest of my life. than to ever be around that enemy again, than to ever work that job again, than to ever be in this environment again. And yeah, you're cool doing that, but it will always keep you far away from your purpose. And although you are cool with being alone and isolated, you will never meet the community of people God is trying to put you with. And yeah, you can be cool with never seeing them again, but you'll never serve them the karma that is really meant for them, because the karma comes with being so close to God that you can walk in front of your enemies and they not bother you. The real karma comes with you being able to walk up to the table that has been prepared in front of your enemies and eat joyfully and happily without them affecting anything that you got going on. And to do that, you have to work out the things that are keeping you further away from God, that are keeping you further away from your blessings, that are keeping you further away from serving real divine karma to your antagonist. Because the greatest karma that you can give somebody is to show them that they can't make you or break you. So I'm here today to help you, Virgo, get one step closer to your blessings. I'm here today. I'm here today to help you allow the divine to intervene on the pain, regret, and guilt that you feel for allowing yourself to get caught up by the enemy in the first place. I'm here today to try to help the divine intervene when you looking at spilled milk and instead be focused on overcoming. What's the temperance to the 5 of Cups? There is divine intervention waiting to happen in your circumstance as we talk. There are blessings waiting to be delivered to your home as we talk. There is good things waiting for you in your future, stored up for you in heaven, waiting for you to stop looking at bullshit and pick your head up. Three of Swords. But some of you, that pain is so hard, that trauma is so heavy, what your enemy did hurts so bad that it's clogging your vision. It's fogging your vision. It's fogging your future. Chariot in the 9 of Cups. I told you. Some of you have allowed pain and hatred and antagonists to stop you from moving forward towards your dreams, towards your wish fulfillment. And I'm here today to tell you that divine intervention is here. They want you to stop doing the things that is stopping you from getting your blessings. They're trying to intervene on the emotions and the pre-programmed hatred and pain and trauma that has been placed inside of you from your enemies. They're trying to intervene on the stagnancy in your life so that you can move forward towards the promised land. But if you're always caught up in looking at your enemies and what's going on with them and what happened to you in the past and how it's affecting your future, you will never be able to move in the way that they need you to get what you are asking for. You're always going to take 2 steps forward, look at your enemies, and take 10 steps back. But I'm here today to talk to people who want to overcome. I'm here today to talk to people who have moved past allowing antagonists to stop them. With the Chariot and the 9 of Cups, you're going to feel a divine peace over your life that stops the pain of what happened to you from stopping you from moving forward. Knight of Cups. There's going to be someone who comes into your life that helps you move forward. Queen of Swords. 8 of Pentacles. The Moon card. the Knight of Wands, the Page of Cups, and the Ten of Cups in the reverse. Some of you, excuse me, that was so gross. Some of you with the Chariot and the Nine of Cups to the Knight of Cups, you have been trying to move forward. You have taken up the plight. You have taken up the path of moving forward. But with the Queen of Swords to the Eight of Coins, you have ran into blockages. Okay? And God is about to send somebody in to help you overcome the blockages. Okay? Eight of Pentacles in the reverse. You've been doing hard work, but you have not seen the fruit of it yet. And with the Moon card to the Knight of Wands energy, your intuition is telling you the things that you need to leave behind in order to stop bearing fruit that you're not happy with, entertaining things that do not lead to your highest good. Okay? So the first part of it is listening to your intuition. What is your intuition telling you that you need to leave behind? Okay? That you need to move away from. Because the same things that you are being told to move away from, you can have a creative idea if you pay attention to your communication or pay attention to your emotion that will allow you to move forward. So it's not that you're not doing the right thing. It's the mindset and the emotions you have while doing it. Okay, I had to learn this the hard way. I was really caught up in the views and the money in which I got from making these videos. So when I didn't get the views and the money that I wanted, my intuition told me that I need to give up. I would allow that to affect my emotions, and now I'm sad all day. Now I'm depressed all day. But as soon as I realized that me living in my purpose does not equate to the sum of the things that I have, it was easier to create content and still keep going. And as soon as I got into that energy, now my views and my money has nothing to do with the things that I do, because I am happy with doing the things that I do. And when I got into that space, things start working out for me. My views started getting steady. My pay started getting steady. And I started to move forward in a forward fashion. But before, I was doing the exact same thing that I'm doing right now. The only thing that has changed is my mindset and my emotions. And this is what God is trying to show you in this instance, Star card. Because you are doing the right things. You are moving in the right direction. It's just aspects of your emotions and your attitude that are causing things to not be what you want them to be. How do we get over this? Judgment. Nine of Swords. And the Emperor. So the Judgment talks about rebirth. It talks about resurrection. The Nine of Swords and the Emperor. The Nine of Swords talks about anxiety, sleepless nights, stressful energy. And the Emperor talks about control, power, authority. So the only way to get your blessings quicker is to change your judgment. Instead of allowing the fruit that you have to stress you out, to cause you anxiety, to think that you are losing, to fuck with your emotions, you have to conquer them. You have to show up in your authority and show these people that you have power, even when it is not represented by your fruit. This is how you live as if. You know, in that part of the manifestation where they tell you that you have to live as is to manifest what you want, this is the epitome of that. You have to have the judgment that you have these gifts, that you have these blessings, and be able to sit there and withstand every situation that you are still in your power. So no matter what anxiety comes, you're still in your power. No matter what the enemy does to ruin your day, you're still in your power. No matter what happens that takes you out of your power, you can get back in it. No matter what the distractions the enemy has planned for you, you're still in your power. And I'm here today to tell you, when you focus and you stay logical and you stay in your power, your fruit starts to represent that. So stop allowing the circumstances that you are living in and the circumstances that your enemies are living in from stopping you from moving forward. Because your blessings are here. Your gifts are here. Your talent is here. The things that you've been asking for already exist. It's just that you have to stand in your power long enough to not be shaken by the enemy. Prime example, if I make this video and I put it out and it gets 300 views, I have to stand up and have enough courage to make a video tomorrow, because the accumulation of my work will pay off in fruit. But if I stop today because it only got 300 views, I will never reap the harvest in the blessings of my accumulated power in the end. If the enemy fucks up this video and I only get 300 views and I allow it to stop me from being on my path, then the enemy wins. But the longer I hold out and keep standing in my power, no matter what the circumstances are, the greater the chances and the quicker I'll be able to eat my fruit. This is the message that I have for you today, Virgo. Your enemies have already reaped their karma. Your antagonists have already gotten in trouble. And your blessings are already here. It's about you having enough power and strength to walk to that table and eat. This is the message that I have for you today. If you resonate with anything here, please give me a like, comment down below. Subscribe to the channel to see what's coming up next to the Virgos. Y'all already know I'm very grateful and thankful for everybody watching. Peace.